Hi guys, hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing great because we are blessed and highly favored over here. Now my name is Twanelo Shi, and I'm here with
Johnson She.
and together we are the She's. Now if it's your first time seeing my face, seeing my husband's face, or coming across our channel or podcast, you are welcome. I hope you like what you see and you decide to stay. But if you are a regular or a subscriber, thank you for choosing to tune in once again. Today we are talking love languages. Love languages. It is the Diary of Two podcast after all, right? So it would be fitting that we speak about love languages during the month of love.
Yeah.
But honestly, I have to say this. If you are married or you're in a committed relationship, the month of love is every month.
All day, every day.
Throughout the year. I mean, I'm not saying we should discredit the month of love or Valentine's Day or say I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
All day.
All day,
is
every day.
Valentine's Day.
All year.
All year round.
All year round, yeah. So we just figured let's get into the chat about love languages.
Okay.
So how many are there?
5, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like the ones that are publicly known, there's 5. I think somebody decided to summarize them into 5.
Yes.
But there's literally so many ways you can show and express love to your partner or to your loved one.
Yeah.
But I feel like somebody sat down and said, you know what? I'm just going to summarize them into 5. And it actually does make sense, though, the way they summarize it, because...
Yeah, it revolves around it. And also when you think about the number 5, generally speaking, I believe 99% of people have 5 fingers, right? So when you join with your other partner or your significant other, you're able to fill the gaps in between the 5 fingers. So...
Can we experiment?
As if you didn't know how it works.
I just wanted to hold your hand.
Okay.
Hello.
No.
So the first love language that actually my husband bought me a book before we got married. I think the same author that wrote the love languages wrote that book that you gave me, just a book to prepare for love. And then I never got to a point where I actually bought the book about the love languages.
Yes.
But obviously when you listen to podcasts, you speak to other couples, you realize that a lot of people are knowledgeable about the love languages. But yeah,
I think the guy's name is Gary something. I can't remember the last name. But
Yeah,
it's
I think
Gary
it's-
something. And funny enough, I bought you the one, I think, for after marriage. So like how to live a happily ever after with your
it's like
partner.
tips to a successful marriage. or
Yeah,
something.
whereas I read before I even got into a relationship with you, the 5 languages of love, of which I was given by a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did help, and it sort of like was an eye-opener as to what it is different people like, because obviously you have your personal preference and I
Yeah.
have my personal preference. And like I shared, I think previously, that certain people, if they don't understand their significant other's most wanted treasure or language, the marriage or the relationship won't grow. Like I might be expecting words of affirmations, but if you keep on buying me gifts, it's not gonna enhance the relationship.
You just
know?
mean we need to know each other's love language.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's tackle them now, one by one. So the first love language we found is quality time, right? But before we get into it, what is a love language, my love?
I think it's the way, number one, you as an individual express yourself to show your love to that person, right? And everybody shows it differently.
Yeah.
Some shows it through money, some shows it through experiences, some share it through words of affirmations.
Yeah.
There's different way of expressing it, and everybody is different. So for me, I think the big one is words of affirmation to my significant other.
Yeah.
Whereas the way I receive it, I think, is physical touch more.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me,
Or what is your definition, rather?
Yeah, for me, love language means if somebody was to ask me what is a love language, like this thing you guys talk about it loosely, everybody's talking about love languages. What is that? I agree with you. It is the way you express love to your significant other.
Yes.
A love language is you teaching your spouse how to love you. Because in a relationship we are two different individuals, we want to be loved differently.
Yeah.
So love languages is just a summary of how you want to be loved, right? So the 5 different love languages we're about to talk about right now will let you see which one you actually are more
Prefer.
which one you
prone
actually prefer,
Yeah.
So love languages is just how you want to be loved. That's it.
Yeah.
Simply put.
Sure.
So the first love language is quality time. Quality time. Let's talk quality time. What does that mean?
So in layman terms, I think it's attention, right? And I think it's a big one for women especially, right? Sometimes, or a lot of cases, guys want their space, Guys believe that they should have their space and able to think and just clear their mind and think of nothing. As you know, guys can think of nothing, but women don't believe it. So that's the quality time that men have. Whereas women actually want to have time with their significant other where they can actually sit down, communicate, talk, express, and just find out exactly what it is your partner is thinking, doing, inquiring about. They just want that time with the significant other. Unless you have a different way of putting it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's literally attention. I'm just laughing because every time you are quiet and you're just looking away and I'm like, but babe, like what's on your mind? And you're like, nothing. I'm like, there's no way. There's nothing on your mind. I'm like, babe, I swear, I'm not thinking of anything. So I feel like, you are pointing at me by saying women don't believe that sometimes there's
But
nothing
do you?
on your
You don't
mind.
believe it, right?
I don't, even
Exactly,
now. I still
yeah.
don't believe it.
No, men can think of nothing. Like they can doze off and go
But
into
there's
space.
always something on your mind, man.
No, there isn't.
Is it?
Trust me. It's the greatest feeling ever. Just thinking of nothing.
Blank minds and stuff. So I agree with you. Love, quality time literally means giving me attention and spending time with me.
And also, I think the importance of that is the environment you set for that. In our previous episode, I think we also mentioned the fact that you don't want to speak about an important issue just at home. Take your partner out. Dress up, doll up, do all those things, but take your partner out and then actually sit down with that person while having a meal or while doing something so that you can actually find out exactly how are you feeling. What is your take about this relationship? Are you still seeing growth? Are you still feeling in love? Are you still loving? All those things.
Yeah, for me, I feel like spending quality time with me, I feel like sometimes giving me attention is not enough. Like, be intentional about spending time with me. I'm always teaching my husband that sometimes he'd be like, I'm going to this place, do you want to come with me? And I'm like, it doesn't feel as nice as if you're like, babe, would you come with me to this place? And I'm that type of girl who wants to go with him everywhere he's going. So if it'd be like, babe, let's go to this place, I won't say no. I won't say no,
And another thing about that, like you were saying about it being intentional. So I think a lot of couples or people in general these days, they have the issue of not being able to shut off. So you saying being intentional, like when we actually go out, let's, put away our phones, let's not be distracted, let's not take business calls or friendly calls or whatever the case may be, or texting, and actually focus on your partner.
Yeah, you definitely have to be intentional. The same way you put out a schedule that at 5 a.m. I'm going to go to the gym, at 8 a.m. I'm going to have breakfast, at this time I'm going to do this and that. It's the same thing when it comes to spending time with your significant other. You need to schedule it. You need to be intentional about it. Because if you're saying, I'll let it flow, I'll let it go with the flow, sometimes the flow won't go the way it's supposed to.
True.
True. So it's important that you set out. Sometimes we are busy, guys. We've got kids, we've got careers, we've got parents, we've got things that we are doing. But it's important to tell yourself that this specific day, even if it's one day in a week, you tell yourself that this specific day for so many hours, I'm definitely dedicating this time to my spouse. What we are doing, we can figure out. But be intentional about spending quality time with your spouse. Quality time with your spouse doesn't require money.
True.
All right? Because you can just decide, okay, maybe today is Saturday, we can take the kids to their parents and then we're going to cook together.
Yeah.
That's
or even
quality
just going
time.
to the park and sitting and opening a
And
blanket.
chatting,
Yeah, and
exactly,
chatting,
exactly.
drinking a glass of Coke. Doesn't have to be wine, and then snacking on some gummy bears or whatever.
Exactly.
It is,
It doesn't have to be expensive.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
And I think what's so important these days is that people don't spend enough quality time with one another.
Yeah.
Another guy was saying, I forgot his name now, but very famous guy, very successful businessman, whatever it is. He said that, if you don't spend at least a minimum of 90 minutes a week with your partner, you're on the road of a failing marriage or failing relationship. So 90 minutes. Same thing with like working out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're saying, be intentional, put your mind there, put your effort there, put your intentions there.
Something else I'd like to add to that, my love, is that while you guys are having quality time, you literally get to know your spouse better.
True.
Because usually if you're going to get that date at the park, you guys have to talk, right? The beauty of quality time is that you guys have to talk. There's nobody else there.
Yeah.
So I always say I love going out for movies with my husband, but we'll always go out for a movie and then lunch before or lunch after or something in between there. Because when you go for a movie, you don't talk, you watch the movie. So the park, I wouldn't recommend watching a movie as some sort of quality time. It can be one of the dates you guys do. Don't get me wrong, I love movies. I can watch movies like the whole month. So when you go to a park date, when you go on a drive, you guys have got to talk. If you decide to go on a drive and maybe go see cars, you get to see what kind of car your spouse likes. How much do they know about cars? Are they interested? So I think quality time actually really does help the marriage or the relationship, and for you guys to know each other better and to know where you are in life.
Yeah. So with my ending point on this thing of quality time, like you're saying, for instance, the thing of watching a series or a movie, right? Usually you don't talk about it, right? You don't get to hear the other person's perspective or how they view the movie, right? So when you go for those, even if you go for a walk, around the yard or in your complex, whatever it is, find out from your partner, what did you think of it? Like we always do with the interesting thrillers that we watch, of your,
when the bow breaks, A Fall from Grace, Acrimony, all of these things, right? And find out how your partner thinks, because in that way it'll make you understand your partner better and how to treat them as well. Because again, we're talking about 5 languages. So languages is how you express yourself. I love that.
There's a saying that says, the minute you open your mouth is you telling the world who you are. So in the same way, when you express your love, you are expressing who you are to your partner. And it should be very sacred, because it should be only with your partner, and nobody should get that. Something interesting that we are watching together also is the way you express yourself shouldn't be the same way it is expressed with somebody else, because then it's not fair to your partner. And are you truly being genuine with your partner? So that's important. Yeah.
Love that. Love it. The second one, should we get into it? The second one is words of affirmations.
Yeah. I think for both male and female, this is an important one. And I think people lack it because we often forget it, or we say it blatantly. So we say oh, you look beautiful, every now and then. Oh, you're so gorgeous and stuff like that. Or people say it only when your partner dresses up and doll up, right?
Yeah.
So that's important to take into being intentional again, but rather being mindful as well of what it is you're saying. It's like the experiment of the crystal. I don't know if you know of it. I think I did speak about it before with the kids, but it's where they did an experiment where they put crystals, right? So one crystal for a week, and
What's
every
a crystal?
day. Crystal. It's like water, basically. 70% of our bodies is water.
So
right?
Crystal is water.
Yeah, it can be made up of water, right?
Okay.
But anyway, the analogy is that we are made of 70% water.
Yes.
And they use the experiment with crystal because crystals can provide different images of what the crystal actually creates, Have you seen crystal? You've seen different types of crystal, right?
But love, you just said crystal is water. I don't know what a crystal is.
Okay, but yeah, okay.
Different types of water.
Essentially, crystal, go and do the experiment. You'll see it on YouTube.
Okay.
If you go and YouTube it, right? They did this experiment, 7 days. Every day they told this glass of crystal or water that it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's it's fragrant and all of that, right? And then on the other hand, they did the same experiment by telling the glass of water that you're ugly, you're awful, you smell, you are distasteful, all of these things, right? So they did 2 different experiments. And at the end of those 7 days, they realized that the crystal, for the ones that they spoke negative words to, it became a very scattered, symbol. Whereas the one that they spoke love to, they spoke affirmations to, it became like a snow symbol. You know how a snow symbol looks? Yeah, very beautiful, very connected, very putting, really. So the same way, like we were saying, is that 70% of our bodies is water. So whatever you are pouring into your partner is what will sprout. Whereas if you're telling this person how negative they are, of which a lot of people I think are prone to that, because then it becomes verbal abuse.
Yes.
And in that way, it makes the marriage go into a dip or a, what do they call it? What do they call it?
A pit.
Yeah, a pit.
Yeah.
And in that way, you put your partner in a depth where they can't even see the light. And in that way, it's so difficult for them to come out. And I think that's why so many people, so many women rather, out there are so scared to come out of that shell, because they feel like they are not worthy, they are not beautiful, because they haven't got it from their partner. So what is the world to them? So it's important to always be affirmed yourself and then by your partner.
Baby man. When it comes to words of affirmations, remember when you are still growing up, the only thing that matters to you a lot is what your parents say.
Yes.
If your parents say you are smart, even if you go to school and the teacher tells you, you don't understand this thing, you are dumb or whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as your parents told you at home that you're intelligent, you go by that. So I feel like as you grow, you build this special relationship with your spouse.
Yes.
So then it becomes that. I'm just adding to what you said. If your spouse can say, you are this, you are that, and it's all positive things, you walk out of the house feeling like you're on top of the world. And then whatever anybody else says does not matter.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that applies when your spouse beats you down with words and always says negative things about you or to you. When you go out there, you feel worthless.
Yeah.
No matter how many times people can tell you how good you are at your job, how good you are at being a friend or whatever it is that you've got relationship with your other relations, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
For as long as your spouse told you that, nah, you're not looking that good, you're not all that, you go out with that mentality.
True.
One of the most important things that we need to know as people is to affirm yourself first.
Yes.
Right. We are currently, but I can't say currently because we're used to it now. We've been teaching our kids to affirm themselves every morning. When we take them to school, we tell them. So my husband came up with this idea of if it's Monday, they do one thing. If it's Tuesday, they do 2 things, So after we have our morning prayer for school drop-offs, they'll tell us what they're grateful for, and then they'll affirm themselves. We are teaching them that it's important for you to affirm yourself before the world does it for you, right? You need to speak positive things about yourself.
Yeah.
Speak good things about yourself, because whatever you say will come to light, will come to life. So it's beautiful to have your spouse give you words of affirmation, but it's even better when you do it yourself. Right? Because when your spouse says it adds to what you already said.
Yes.
Because if I tell myself every morning, I know I'm beautiful. When my husband says it, firstly, when I say it to myself, I already have confidence. And my husband will see that I'm beautiful because I'm confident in what I believe about myself. So when my husband says it, my confidence is up the roof.
True.
Right?
True.
So it's important for you to do things for yourself first so that it's easier for your spouse to see you shine through. Something else that I'm noticing is that women usually like compliments about how they look because they take a lot of effort and they put a lot of effort into how they look.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to put on that makeup, put on that weave, put on that outfit, and somebody actually steps up and says, and that's somebody being your spouse, and they say, oh, you look gorgeous, my love, you look beautiful. And then with men, it's also that thing of if they're going to go out there, work hard, provide for the family, and you're just like, babe, I really appreciate you. You are doing great. You're a great dad. You're a great husband. You're a great man. It actually makes them to want to do better, to want to do more, of which even it takes you back to childhood. We are seeing it also with our kids. Like if you tell the child, maybe if you ask the child like as small as 2 or 4, bring me something. And then they bring you maybe a bottle of water. And they're like, oh, that's excellent, great. Tomorrow they will want to bring you the bottle of water without you asking. Because words of affirmation kind of make you feel the need to do it more because you know somebody appreciates it, you know. So words of affirmation are very important from both yourself and your spouse. Guys, do not forget to always tell your partner how good they are, how great they are. You know, nobody's perfect, but make it a priority to tell them. If they are doing good things, tell them all the time. Remind them all the time because that builds their character. And it also makes them love you more because they realize that you notice what they're doing. You know, it could be for you or it could be for themselves. You know, when we go to the gym, guys, we go to the gym now, by the way. So when we go to the gym, I like complimenting my husband. Oh, you're doing good. Like you're getting stronger and fitter. And then that is for him. He's going to the gym to do whatever he wants with his body. But I am also encouraging him with that. Let us not be selfish as to only applaud things that are only done for us. You know, let it also be for a person, for themselves. Even if you're improving yourself, I also should affirm you like you are doing great.
Yeah.
You know, because that only wants you to, or that only makes you want to do better than actually where you are right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So just my final point on that, it's just a different perspective of, you know, what the scripture says of when your spouse is given to you or when you find your significant other, right? They are there to help you multiply, to build support and to multiply.
Yes.
So like you were saying, it's an addition, but you have to affirm it first yourself.
Yes.
You have to know that you have before
somebody else
expecting it or finding it elsewhere or on the external side. Affirm it first in yourself, and your partner is there to add on it, you know. So that's where the addition comes into play, or multiply comes into play. Yeah.
The third one. Are you satisfied? Did you wrap up words of affirmation?
Yeah.
So let's affirm our partners, guys. Let's affirm ourselves, because if we don't do it, somebody out there will.
And that won't end well.
Because remember, baby, we just discussed now that if your partner doesn't affirm you and other people affirm you, sometimes it might make you feel worthless. But to some people, it's a different story. You know, if my husband doesn't affirm me, I go to work, somebody's always affirming me. What is going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, so think of that. Don't be in that situation where you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. You don't want to that quote to become a reality for you.
Yeah.
You know, so appreciate your spouse, affirm your partner, so that somebody else doesn't do it for you. Because your spouse, if they find somebody affirming them out there and that is their love language, you are very...
Yeah, you're
in a critical state,
but stable.
You might not survive.
Yeah.
You know, and also in the day of work wives, work husbands, and stuff like that. If your wife leaves home, you see her, because for some couples, it's unfortunate that maybe the husband leaves earlier, or the wife leaves for work earlier, so you don't get to see your spouse in the morning when they prepare for work. Obviously, then that's another story. But if you see your spouse in the morning getting ready for work and they look good, you don't tell them. The work husband will tell them. The work wife will tell them. And they are seeing this person every day, and this person is giving them and satisfying their love language every day.
Yeah. But I think with that, love, it's important to also note that it should just be at the back of your mind, but not the first thought, right? Like, for instance, you're saying, if you go to work, your work house, work wife, work husband, whatever the case may be, will compliment you, right? But don't let it be a thing for you to force you to affirm your partner. Affirm your partner because you believe that your partner is beautiful and that the words you're giving them is what you truly believe.
Yeah, I get you,
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if we're on the same page. So I'm saying, my baby, that let's put ourselves in this scenario. If you don't compliment me every day, I go to work, somebody else compliments me every day.
Yeah.
How does that then make me tell you to tell me?
Yeah.
That's then your work that you need to do alone.
Yeah.
This is now me getting the love language that I want from somebody else and not my husband. Worst part, after I've expressed it, the worst part is if you tell your spouse what is your love language and they don't even care. They don't even follow, they don't even try to fulfill it. So I think other things, yes, you can't blame me for not getting the love language I want from you after I told you what is my love language.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
so
it's
I think
important to note what it is that the partner
wants,
has already expressed
yeah.
and wants.
And that's another thing. You always say this. I'm surprised you haven't said it. Communication. You know, my husband
But
says
that's
communication.
that was part
in
of my
every-
attention point. So giving attention, your
Oh.
quality time.
You talk about
you
it.
talk about
You talk
issues,
about
even
it.
if it's something that's distasteful or something that you didn't want to talk about, but you
Yeah,
had to bring it
yeah.
about. That's why I'm saying the environment that you set should allow for that,
Yes.
so that you can
Yes.
communicate
Yes. Yes.
and express yourself.
That's very important, my love. That's why we were supposed to say it even at the beginning of the video. Express what your love language is to your partner. Don't let them guess.
Yes, yeah.
You
You'll guess forever and you won't get it.
You will guess
You'll
forever.
go blue, yeah.
Exactly. You will die trying to guess
Yeah.
what the person's love language is. So express it. Tell your partner what you like and what you don't like. You know, another thing, if something is my love language, I mustn't force it on you.
Yes, yeah.
You know, because I feel like couples tend to do this a lot. If my love language is gifting, now I'm gifting you all the time. And when yours is not gifting, yours is maybe quality time.
Yes.
So then there's a clash then.
Yeah.
You know, don't force your thing on me. You know, your thing is your thing, and my thing is my thing.
Not make sure, eh?
The thing is, sometimes my thing, I must do it with you.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but
in
that's
that
also
way-
the thing of the word of compromise. You know, you have to try and understand your partner. If this is their love language, let me compromise myself so that I can spend quality time with you because this is what you want to do and this is what you like to do.
After this, we are going to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, the third one, my baby, is physical touch. Physical.
Yeah, but I think it's deeper than that. It's love making also, and you know that part of it. But that's the after effect.
That's the obvious.
Yeah. So with that, physical touch for me in essence leads up to the second important quality, which is your important quality of spending quality time. And with quality time comes with communication and comes with attention that you give your partner, right? But with men, or at least for myself, I believe that once the deed is done first, the ears, the organs somehow open better and they can hear more and understand more of whatever it is that you are trying to communicate. But again, with that, it's important to understand that it's not always about that. You know, you need to control yourself as a man. You know, otherwise you're just running around like a headless chicken, basically. So you need to know as a man that you need to be able to control yourself. And also, going back to compromising, right? It's not always going to be just about physical touch. Yes, every now and then, but more importantly, what are you willing to do for your partner? Because like we always say is that we are creating a path. And a path is a two-way street. It's a go and a come, right? So I need to sometimes set the environment so that it allows you to lead up to the deed, or which is like going out for dinner and coming home. Then the deed will happen. Yeah.
I hear you. For me, the physical touch, it's deeper than the intimacy, you know. Because I know everybody, when you talk about love languages and you mention physical touch, everyone is thinking of intimacy and all of that, you know.
Yeah.
It is important. I'm not looking down on it. It is very important. For me, it also goes to if you are in an environment where you need support from each other, you know.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, you might think you never know somebody fully, but when you are at a point where you feel like, okay, I know you enough, you know, when you get married and you're together for a certain number of years, you know, so you might find yourself where you guys have to propose a business deal or you have to do something very professional together.
Yeah.
And then you can hear your partner's voice break, or you can hear that now they are nervous. That you just putting your hand on their hand kind of lets them know that you can calm down. I'm here. You know, some people might feel like it's unprofessional, but we don't work in the same spaces. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we go to places where we are known that we're a couple and we are here to present something. Sometimes even for our radio interviews.
Yes.
You know, we sometimes get a question that we're not expecting. And then when it's time to answer, because we know each other so well, we'll literally just hold each other's hand a bit and then the answer just comes out in a way, because it tells you that when you touch your partner, there's this calmness that you feel. I don't know, I saw this other quote on Instagram. I came across this quote and I told you about it, where somebody said, I see somebody I like and I have butterflies in my stomach and stuff like that. Somebody actually said, when you meet the love of your life or your life partner, you are not supposed to feel those things. So I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but I read this and I found it very interesting. It says you are not supposed to feel nervous or the butterflies in your stomach, because that is your body telling you that this might not work. But when you actually meet your life partner, you have to feel some sort of calmness, some sort of comfort, some sort of belonging, you know. So because that feeling kind of carries you throughout the relationship, throughout the marriage, because should things go left and your partner just gives you that touch on the hand, that touch makes you feel like I can calm down. It's okay. You know, I can be myself. My person is here with me.
Yeah, and I think with that, it's funny. Like, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, or my best friend, outside of our marriage. That
So you cheating on me, friend-wise?
No, you know him. He's a brother, basically.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So we're talking about this thing of what is it that you're looking for in a partner, and a lot of the people were talking about companionship. So it's more important to be friends first and foremost with your partner, not get these butterflies and all of these things, right? Because that's just excitement, and excitement kills, right? Or expectations kill,
That's a fact.
right? Whereas if you can be comfortable with your partner, you can speak about anything with your partner or your friend, right?
Yeah.
You know, like when you were young and you had a BFF, you know, you could share your deepest, darkest secrets, you know, and you were just comfortable that you were calm and you were able to express yourself or, you know, offload to your partner. So in the same way, when you're looking for a spouse, it should be the same way. You should be able to have companionship. Even when I was looking at TikTok, you know, there was this other guy who interviews old people who've been married for long, or maybe they've lost their spouses or divorced, whatever it is. And they all go back to wishing they could spend quality time, but with quality times comes communication. And communication also comes with companionship, where you can just express yourself. You can talk, you know, freely. You can express your mind, you know, that type of thing. So physical touch is important, but it's also not the most important. I think when you're young, you obviously want to use that to your advantage as a guy. I don't know about
I think I beg to differ. I think it depends on the person. We are not the same. So to some people, physical touch is the first love language they've got, and then the others follow.
Okay, true.
You know,
true.
so we speak for individual when you say physical touch is not that important. And it's funny that you would say that. But I'm just saying that for every person, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
We rank the love languages according to how we feel about them, you know.
Yes,
so because physical touch could be number one for you, it doesn't mean it has to be number one for me, type of thing, you know. And because I feel like it's not as important, it doesn't mean I must now come into the relationship and say, your love language is not that important. We must start with this one.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it
that is
shouldn't
not
be
right.
that way. Yeah.
There's something else that you like to mention, that when you are in car rides and stuff like that, what does physical touch do?
So like I was saying, you know, guys can be, you know, dreaming or, you know, in space, not thinking about anything. Or sometimes you're stressed about something. And somehow, some way, or at least in my case, I believe that my partner is there. And when she like just puts a hand on my thigh, it sort of like calms me down, you know, not think about it and just maybe come back to earth, you know, in certain instances. And it's nice. It's like it's your partner affirming you that I'm still here. I'm still aware that you're here and I appreciate you being here, type of thing. Without saying anything, just a mere touch on the thigh, you know.
While you're driving.
Yeah. So that's nice. So my question to you with this point of physical touch is, do you think that it's a red flag for your partner not to be wanted to be touched in public?
If my partner doesn't want me to touch them in public, is it a red flag? No.
Why?
No, there are people who are just like that. People who prefer like privacy and stuff like that.
All the way, not even like over the shoulder or...
Honestly, for me, I feel like if they don't like it, they don't like it, and they give me the reasons why, it's fine. Like, I can't force you to do something because I want to do it. If you don't feel comfortable with me doing it, then it's okay. You know, I wouldn't really have a problem with it. Unless, maybe, do you feel like sometimes it could be somebody trying to hide a whole relationship or what?
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting into, is that I would believe that it's a red flag.
You
Every
feel like
setting that we are at,
you
we
don't wanna
don't
be
touch
touched.
each other. But like, we're not in our parents' era here. Our parents' era, we've never seen them have physical touch,
You're
right?
saying like if you guys are out in public, like if you're walking in the mall and somebody doesn't want you to hold their hand.
Yeah, or even if we're at like a couple's event and you don't touch me at any
Yeah,
point in
I
time
see,
in
I see,
public,
I see.
what are you trying to show out there? It's like you're not taken also. You're also free for the crabs.
Free game, ne?
You know, type of
Yeah,
thing. I
no,
feel
but
like
for
that's a
me-
red flag.
For me at the mall, it's fine. If you don't want it,
Yeah,
it's
at the
okay.
mall it's fine. I'm just saying like if everybody, I'm not saying you must do what everybody does, but I mean like if your
It's
partner
if
doesn't
the
even,
environment allows.
yeah, it's not like I'm saying you must be public indecent where now you're kissing and you're French kissing and you are grabbing each other's palms and all of those things, you know? Those you can keep in private. But I like I'm saying, just the mere, even when we're sitting at the table and we're amongst another couple, you know, to touch, to
Hold
hold
each
your
other's
hand, you
hand,
know, that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Whereas if
that's
you don't
fine.
do it at all, I feel like it's a problem.
That's a red flag for you.
It's a red
I
flag.
hear you. I hear you.
Or it could be like, maybe you have this thing with this other person.
So you don't want them
Or
to see.
maybe they are giving you the eye and you are also feeling like, yay,
You
maybe
like
this
the
guy is
eye.
checking me out. Yeah, I've seen it. That's the thing. I've witnessed this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say a specific race, but I've witnessed it even in clubs where I come with you, for instance, to a club with my friends and whatever it is. We are couples or we are just friends, right? Then there's another group of people that come. Obviously, they're also good looking and all of that. Next thing, you and I are dancing, right? And then we're obviously being touchy, we're being sexual, whatever it is. And then there's another guy, maybe for instance, who's giving you that. You're also giving them that. I feel like that's extreme now.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, something else that I wanted to touch on is that with couples, don't be very strict with each other. If you're at home, play with your partner. Be playful. Like lift each other up, tickle each other, hug each other, like whatever it is that you can do. Because some couples, they don't touch each other at all.
Yeah,
Even
but then,
in a home setting.
Yeah,
Where, let me just finish this point, love, if I forget it. Where you are at home, you are husband and wife, you only touch each other when you are supposed to be intimate. That for me, I don't understand why you would want to do that.
yeah.
Okay, the I don't want you to hold your hand in public or whatever. That you've got your own reasons for that, fine. But I want you to be my friend, like fully. The things that I would do with my friend, like when we're laughing and then we start like laughing to a point where we high five each other and stuff like that. I mean, be playful with your partner. Sometimes physical touch could be that. You know, high five me, you know, hug me, lift me up, just pick me up sometimes, you know, put me on your back, you know, something like that. Just be very like touchy with me. And at the end of the day, these things are things you can do only with me.
Yeah.
I never want to see you. I never want to see you doing fun, like being touchy with another woman.
Yes,
you know.
yes,
So
yes,
with
yes.
me, you can feel free, like to do anything. Like let's play, let's be, you know. And there's also this thing that I've noticed that I don't know about other people's husbands, but like when you are married and you are passing each other in the house, don't pass each other as if you're at Small Street or yeah, but like when you pass that pat in your behind, that you know, that hug, that mini, you know, that thing kind of keeps the love alive.
It's that thing I was saying about setting the environment. So for women, the whole day, they say, is the playground to get to the actual event.
Destination.
Whereas the man is worried about only the event.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what time, when, and how. It just must happen.
Must happen.
Type of thing. Whereas a woman wants to be aroused, they want to be charmed, they want to be playful and all of
Yeah.
that. That's why foreplay, I guess, is important for women,
important,
right?
yeah.
But my point of this thing of being friends, it's important, like you're saying, at home, right? So then I would understand in your perspective that if you're out there and you don't want to be physically anyhow, don't bring that home.
Yeah, no, at home don't
Yeah,
do that.
then I would understand. But if J&J,
And
we are
everywhere we
everywhere,
are, yeah.
only when we are doing it high, you see there it's a big problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, for me, honestly, I feel like take it there. I mean, the way you like men love playing with their children. And it's not that us moms don't. We do, but men like play with their children, and they become one, guys. When they play, it's like they're the same age. You know, that same energy your husband gives your kids, playing with them, picking them up, throwing them around, and whatever. he must come and do it to me also. It's just that obviously, for obvious reasons, certain things we can't do like the kids, but I mean, don't be like you are at work when you're at home.
Yeah.
Don't make your marriage fun, make your marriage interesting. Don't make your marriage boring to a point where when you're watching a movie with your spouse and you are seeing a couple being playful on TV, you are like, the other one is like, oh, I wish that was us, and then your spouse is like, these ones, what do they think they're doing? You're not supposed to. Don't do that. Now,
don't make it I wish if it was only. You can make it up because your partner is there.
Yeah, be playful. Make your marriage your own. Make your marriage fun. Make it exciting. This person, you are going to live with them for the rest of your life. So if you are going to treat them like they're your pastor, you can't. Guys.
And then you go to the pastor and he does other things to you. Yay.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But yeah, just be very free in your marriage. Be yourself. If you want to play with your spouse, play with them. Don't be too stiff.
Yeah.
When you're around don't be like, I'm a wife. So you are walking around like, no, relax. It's your home. It's just you guys there. Even if you don't like doing public indecency and whatever. But in your house, be you. Be playful. Be crazy. Be fun. Give your husband something to think about when he's at work. Like, let him laugh alone. Because he's thinking about that crazy thing you did yesterday. And it has nothing to do with intimacy, but it was just you probably wrestling with him, And then he's laughing at how you wrestle. Type of thing, My husband this morning was literally my husband always laughs at the way I box, so I was asking him to teach me how to box, like these type of things. It's funny, but we're not even touching each other, but we're being playful. So I think it's important, guys. Play with your man because your man is your friend. Okay. So are we wrapping up this point?
Yeah, I'm taken to memory lane now. Other things, but yeah, we can move on. It's important to be playful with your partner.
Yeah, make it fun.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, life is tough on its own, guys. Let's not make our marriages tough as well.
Especially because you're in it forever.
Yeah. And you might never know. Maybe your partner is having a difficult day, Vele. And you being silly with them, might just bring out a joyful side of them, and it might just reconnect you guys. And just bring you back to earth, NJ. Yeah.
And also stop this thing of changing when you guys get married. Some people are very playful when they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Once they're married, now they are not even.
Yeah. It's important.
They're not playful anymore. It's like they get into this character where now you are not allowed to do things. So just be playful and enjoy your marriage. Enjoy yourself. Be yourself. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose the child in you.
Yeah. Don't be imama. We were watching
be
this video.
imama.
Yeah, be imama when you go out, You must be serious,
But at home.
You must be a wolf when you're out there. But at home,
Yeah. And then the next point, should we jump into the next point? Or do you still want to talk about imama? So the next point is gifting.
Yeah, this is
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Gifting. Again, because it's my love language, I mustn't enforce it on you.
Yeah.
Gifting is also, it's something that is not only money, because a lot of people are worried about getting married and getting into a relationship because they feel like everything is about money. Not everything is about money.
Yeah.
But gifting generally is about money. It's a matter of how much.
Yeah.
Don't be. Sorry to interrupt you, love. Don't watch YouTube channels and don't get on the socials with an envious eye, because some girls are getting gifted Louis Vuittons, Gucci's, a Porsche, a house, all these luxury things that you want. And then if your spouse can't gift you those things, then you feel like they don't love you. You must understand that we are not the same as people and we can't all afford the same things. If your partner cannot afford Gucci, but can get you a gift voucher for a different retail store, and it's like, my love, I got you this voucher. Please go and choose whatever you like. I wasn't sure what you would like. So here's a gift voucher for a certain retail store. Please go and get yourself something. That is already a beautiful gift. It's very thoughtful. And some people might be like, but he didn't even buy it for me. I had to choose it for myself. Who paid for it? So don't kind of set crazy standards for your relationship. Some people might be there already. Some people might have been together for like 10 years and they've worked together, they've made money, and they're able to gift each other expensive things. Do not for even a second feel like if your partner cannot afford those things, they are not good enough or they don't love you enough. Because sometimes you might find that your partner is already paying for everything at home, school fees, house, everything he's doing. You can't really now expect him to always buy you these like luxury brands and stuff like that. This person gives you every day by making sure that you have a home, you have food, your children are dressed and stuff like that, So don't set unnecessary standards. And when it comes to gifting, be open to anything. Your partner knows what you like. Like I remember when my husband and I first got married, like I love food. So sometimes my husband would come back from work and just bring me like chocolate and be like, no, I was passing by this shop and I saw this chocolate and I thought of you. That made me insane. I was like, this guy's thinking of me the whole day. Okay, even when he's at work, And then somebody else might feel like, but chocolate. And I want Steve Madden shoes. You can't be buying Steve Madden shoes every day, But just that small gesture kind of reminds you of how important you are to somebody. And sometimes they'll come home in winter with tennis biscuits. I love tennis biscuits. And it's like, babe, I thought when I get home, you can make a cup of coffee. Sometimes he'll call me on his way back, like, babe, please prepare a cup of coffee. I prepare a cup of coffee. He's got muffins or tennis biscuits for me. And that's like, dude, even when you're out working, you are thinking of me. It doesn't really have to be expensive things. Not that I don't get expensive things because... But I'm just saying that, don't be scared to gift your partner something because you think it's not expensive. It can be something as small as whatever. But as long as you know that they love it and bring it at a time where they are least expecting it.
I was about to touch on that. Is like when you least expect it. Like the other day we were at the mall. I don't know, we were going to buy something for my wife. I don't know if it was a gym shoe or what it is. And then she landed up spending like, I don't know if it was like close to $5,000 on an outfit for me, and I was not expecting it. I'm not a big gifting person, but like that's really made me appreciate it so much more. But I think what's important about gifting is, like you were saying, of which I'm just going to emphasize on it, which is understanding your partner's love language, right? For instance, your love language is gifting, right? Your perspective should be also understanding of where I stand. Like we were saying, don't compare yourself of somebody else who's buying 5 wives, 5 different Mercedes, those type of things. Don't compare yourself with others, because you must understand your partner. You understand the love language that you want to receive, but receive wholeheartedly, basically. Receive it with the greatest blessing and the greatest grace, so that you can appreciate what it is you're gifting. But also with that, understanding if, for instance, your partner is a gifting person, right? It shows that you are constantly on their mind whenever and however and whomever you feel like. It's that thing of being unexpected. And when you go out there, really, you must be thinking about your partner. There's this pastor who says that if you, as a man, go out there and if you are not trying to rush home, there's a problem at home. So you bringing something home just shows that, hey, I was out there
and I couldn't wait.
The wolves. Mara, I knew when I come home I'm going to be at peace. Mara, let me show you a little bit of appreciation when I come home. It can be, if you can't afford a bouquet of roses, 1 rose is fine.
It's fine.
Even if you picked it out somewhere, as long as you know that it was nice. It's the thought that counts at the end of the day. But if you can afford it, if you're saving up, go all out, yo. People go out, Papa.
People go out. I feel like for me, when it comes to gifts, the value of the gift is not that important. The thought and the product itself is what matters. Because there are people who don't get gifts at all, because some people are worried about how much it costs. Don't make life difficult for your spouse, that whenever they buy you something, you ask them, how much was this? Because honestly, you don't know what the person went through to even buy
Exactly.
that thing that when you feel like it costs nothing.
Yeah.
And with that money, he could have bought himself something that he really needed. But instead of buying something he needs, he bought you something you want.
Yeah.
We remember most EMS, needs and wants. What comes first? You know?
Yeah. And also don't feel entitled also. Because it's that thing when you least expected it. So maybe you spoke about it, but don't expect it.
Yeah.
Because your partner, if they really want to, and if they can, if they're able to, they will.
Sometimes you can speak about something in Jan and know that you can get it in September.
Or December.
And that's still fine.
Or next year.
Or next year. And it's still okay, you know.
Yeah.
So I always emphasize remove monetary value on gifts and just think about the thing itself, you know, because some people really like simple things. Simple things, as long as you bring me something that I like, you know.
Yeah.
Also, don't feel bad if you like expensive things and you have an expensive taste. Don't feel bad, especially if you know that your partner can afford it. If your partner can afford it, it's fine. You can start talking about, I want Gucci sandals, I want Gucci belt, I want Louis Vuitton this, Louis Vuitton that. It's fine because you know he can afford it. But if you know he can't afford it, don't even, I feel like don't even mention it a lot because then you're making him feel small. Especially if you know that he is trying. You know, sometimes I feel like we are the ones who kind of make our partners feel small by wanting the impossible to a certain to an extent where I even cannot afford to buy myself that Gucci item, but I'm expecting my husband to buy it, even though I know his financial status, and that does not make sense, right? So
my last 2 points is also, if you don't know your partner, if you're still like new to this relationship, my pointer is take your partner out and let them decide. Because if you don't know and you get the wrong thing, you don't want to have two options where they had red and orange and they really wanted orange, but you got red. And red is okay, but it's not the best.
yeah, it's not what they want.
You don't want that, right? Number 2, you as the partner who's receiving it, like I'm saying, receive it wholeheartedly. Because you don't want to be in the situation where you wanted an iPhone 15 and I got you 11 Pro Max. And then the way you receive it is like, what is this type of thing? You don't want to find yourself in that situation.
Because it's going to definitely discourage you. You will never buy me anything again.
Yeah. So that's my final thing about gifting. So it's important to do it every now and then, or as often as you can, and as whomever much
as you
want.
Yeah, but gift each other. It's important to gift each other because I feel like gifts have sentimental value, especially because I didn't know you were going to buy it. You know, sometimes I'll ask for something and then my husband, okay, I'll go with you and I'll buy it. That is nice also. But when I have my husband buy me something that I had no idea he was going to get for me, it's really nice, you know. For me, I know my husband doesn't like gifts as much. Like, it's not a thing for him. If you buy it, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. It's fine. You know. But I like doing it sometimes because it's to show appreciation for all that he does. Because I always get gifts. You know. So sometimes you can do it. Sometimes it does play into affirmation. Like, I see you.
Yes,
I see what you're doing. And this is my way of saying thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes with that, you don't even need your partner to tell you what they like. When you're out there, you just see like,
this is what they're
my
looking
wife
at.
would look good at this. And then they really like it and you're like, yeah, I did it again.
You know, another way to see what your person likes if you don't know them, because we did mention sometimes when you're new in the relationship, you don't know what your partner likes. Go out for window shopping and look at the items they look at.
Yeah.
And where they spend most of their time, you know, because in clothing shops there are sections. So do they want to go to a clothing shop? Do they want to go to a bookstore? Do they want to go to a restaurant? Do they like gadgets and stuff like that? That's when you kind of gauge what are they saying about clothes? What are they saying about books? What are they saying about gadgets? That's when you know where their interest lies. You know. Also, do put some effort into finding out what your partner likes, because also you don't want to be that partner that always gets your partner what they don't like. You know, especially because when it comes to gifts, it's a surprise. The person doesn't know.
True.
You know, so you have to research and find out what they like. So just take them out and see what they like. Even if you like go online shopping, or maybe you want to buy something small, you tell them, no, I want to buy myself socks or a t-shirt. But your intention is to see what they like. So Do the research and try to buy them what they like. Also, the best way is to, during the quality time where you guys are chatting, you hear what they need, what they're lacking, what they're missing, what they want, what they would love for their birthday. Ask them a year before their birthday. Like, what would you like? Obviously, with us women, we change all the time. But you already you can gauge kind of what they like, and you can budget for it, right? So my thing is with gifts, let us remove monetary value from gifts and value the actual thing that you got, because really it does have. And imagine, guys, God forbid your partner doesn't make it through to the entire marriage, like they pass on at some point, maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and they've bought you like countless gifts, but you never appreciated them because they were not as expensive as you wanted. How does that then feel? And then you realize then that this person actually really did care. They really did go the extra mile. So learn to appreciate people while they're still alive. And like I said, like what you said, love, that if I wanted the iPhone 15 and you got me the iPhone 11, I must be grateful, because that is going to teach you also to buy me an iPhone 20. You know? The last one, are you happy with it?
I did want to touch on that, but thank you for mentioning it. The death thing, it would be awesome and very sentimental when your spouse or significant other, doesn't make it in life, and at least there's something you can hold on to. Reminisce on.
Doesn't have to be Gucci.
Yeah, doesn't have to be Gucci.
No shade to Gucci lovers.
Yeah.
It's just that because we are talking money, we know that everybody knows that Gucci is expensive.
Yeah.
So if you use that, everybody knows. So it's the sentimental value that is placed on the gift that should matter, not the price. So the last love language is acts of service. Acts of service is literally what you do at home or for your partner. That's how you love them, right? It could play into how you help around the household, how you help in the business if you guys are in business together, type of thing. So for me, acts of service, a lot of people don't really pay attention to that love language, but it's really important.
Very.
And guess what, my love? Something just came to my mind. I was scrolling on Instagram Reels. This lady is doing her nighttime routine. She has a 1-year-old son. So she has a husband there and her toddler. The husband is on the phone the whole time. She's giving him coffee, making food for the child, making the bed. He's on his phone the whole time. Then I go through the comments and people are like, you meant you've got 2 toddlers. Because there's no way that's your partner. Even when you give him coffee, he doesn't even acknowledge you. He doesn't even look at you. He's on his phone still. So acts of service could be, when I make you coffee, when we finish drinking this coffee, I'm going to help you wash the cups, right? While you probably bath the child, So acts of service is what you do in the house. It's important. And I don't want to get into the roles, the gender roles right now. It's not the day, it's not the time. But, acts of service is you helping.
It goes back to your one of our very first episodes, where you are saying when you get into a relationship, it's no more about I. You let go of the ego. If you're not in the business of servicing your partner, your marriage is going to fail. Plainly put. Right? So get in the habit of assisting, giving a helping hand. Service in the word itself is doing something, not receiving. Receiving is the other one. It's that thing also that you always say, that takers will never stop taking, So allow yourself to give, because in the same breath that we are taught, even with money, if you receive with the one hand, let go so that you can receive with the other. Also the concept of your cup must be emptied in order for you to fill it up again. So service your partner, not only in that department down there, but in other acts of service. Giving a helping hand, like in the kitchen, making a cup of coffee when your person is on a meeting call, making the bed for them unexpectedly, helping the kids eat, wash the dishes, clean the house, whatever the case may be. But just be present. Because at the end of the day, what we are trying to build is a home, not a house, a home at the end of the day. And in that way, like Chris Rock always says, that it's easier to move a couch with 2 people than it is 1 person.
Yeah.
You can move it, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it with your partner, it's so much easier.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's that thing of coming down so that we are on equal levels. Not thinking because I'm a man, I'm the king of the house. I'm the king of the castle. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm a king because I treat you like a queen. And what am I doing at the back end when nobody's looking?
Yeah, I love that. You know, also something I've noticed with us, can I just get personal? Is that when you are not home, like you are never really not home, but if like maybe you've got something for like a day, you won't be back in the day. I see your gap. I see that, you know, if my husband was here, he would have done that, you know, and that makes me appreciate you more. It's not that I can't do it myself, but having somebody there to help you makes all the difference, you know. The Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You find help as well.
Yes.
It's not only because I'm the help. You're also my help. I guess the person who wrote forgot to add that part. Where the husband is also the help, you know. But I've seen something beautiful. Like the marriages now, the couples now, they are so involved. The husbands of today, they're so involved in raising their children, in maintaining their households and stuff like that. It is beautiful to watch, because before, of which I don't really blame the husbands before, because they saw the husbands before them and the husbands before them, where they just chilled and the wife would have to do everything and the children will have to do everything, you know. But I feel like the husbands of now are very, very involved. Like the husband will know where the mop is. The husband will know where the broom is. They will know where the sunlight liquid is. They know where everything is, you know, because they also use those things, you know. And there are times when, you know, something else that I wanted to mention is that acts of service, even if there are times when your wife cannot clean or do or keep the household running, right? PH is sick, PH is too busy. Also, don't be scared to ask for help. From somebody else. Yes, for your husband, like you can imagine in our household, we've got 4 kids, there's 6 people in the house, you know. So if I'm sick, 1 man down, 1 soldier is down, there's 1 soldier up. My husband won't be able to do everything. So do get help, do get an assistant, a house help to kind of help you. And if you have a house help, also don't feel like you're inadequate as a woman, or you can't do everything because of this, then and the third. You know, it's okay to ask for help. Also, something else I wanted to mention. Acts of service also grow your spouse's love for you. It makes your spouse love you more. Trust me. Because you might find that your husband can even cook better than you. But because he never does it, because he feels like it's your job as a woman, then you'll kind of resent him for the days that you can't do it. Like you are too busy, that you've got, the kids have a lot of homework, there's a lot of this going on in the house, and he's just chilling, waiting for you to prepare a plate afterwards. You know. But while you are doing all of that, and then he just goes and opens the fridge, takes out the food, lights the stove on, and then puts everything there and cooks. You look back and something is smelling nice because you are from the kids' bedroom, maybe helping them with homework, and you can already smell there's something in the kitchen. That feels so good. And it's like, wow, my man is really considerate, because he can see that I'm busy. And the kids after this will be hungry, definitely, and they have to eat. So it kind of makes you look at him in a different light. And without you realizing it, you are loving him more from seeing him do those things, because it shows you just how thoughtful he is, you know. So don't limit yourself. If you can do something for your spouse, do it, you know. I know with us women, when it comes to cars, we always say, I don't know anything and stuff like that. But if you know something about a car, like if there's a problem with this tire, take it out and change it, because some women are superwomen like that. You know. And this analogy of a man must only take your car, drive it to the to the gas station and bring it back with a full tank on. It's not only men who are supposed to do that. Sometimes as a woman, you can also just take out your husband's car, take it to the car wash, take it to the gas station. It's full of the gas tank is full, you bring it back home. When he drives it on Monday to work, he's surprised. My car is clean, full tank. It's nice. It's an act of service, right? So I think let's do it. Yeah.
My last point with the acts of service is the same thing we teach our kids, which is acting is better than saying. You know. So doing is better than
actions are louder than words.
Actions are louder than words. So constantly be out there. Reason why we are blessed that we're able is because we have hands and we have legs. So use them. God blessed you this much.
Yeah.
The least you can do is use it for the right things. And if you're going to love your partner, show them rather than tell them. Not that you mustn't tell them, because we did mention the words of affirmation.
You have to,
They
yeah.
are important, but it goes hand in hand with acting first. Like the word act. It's the first alphabet. Act first before you.
Because sometimes words without action are meaningless.
Yeah.
Are
Or
meaningless.
you might not even believe me. You might think I'm lying.
Yeah.
Because I tell you I love you, man.
But you don't do anything. But you just lay and wait for me to do everything in the house.
Yeah.
So how do you love me then?
Exactly.
If you want me tired every day.
And then at the end of the day, you must be on top. You must do all the work.
It's not
Imagine.
fair. It's not fair. It's unfair.
Or I only have energy for that then.
Yeah, everything else, it's not right, guys. It's not. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. So I think also something else I just wanted to close with is acts of service. You don't have to be told what to do. You can see the house. You know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because sometimes some people who don't want to help you in the house will wait for you to ask. And it's annoying to ask somebody
Every
to
time.
help you do something every time. You can see the gap. You can see that, that is not done yet and it's supposed to be done by this time. Oh, okay, my partner's still doing that. Let me just do it because I've got some free time. So don't wait to be asked to do other things. Yes, some things you might not be aware that they need to be done, but the obvious, do it.
Yeah.
Just help your partner. Be helpful. Don't be a burden to somebody. Don't make someone regret why they are in a relationship with you. Don't make somebody regret getting married to you. And also don't make somebody feel like they are better off without you. That is one thing you don't want.
True.
When it comes to being in a relationship. You want to add value. You want to feel needed.
Yeah.
So it's important that you are not asked, you are not reminded to do things, right? So I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah. I think my last thing is that it comes with wisdom. Because they can be understanding, but there's wisdom. Of which that thing of, I think in our parents' era, is that they acted only. They never, we never saw words of affirmation. We never heard,
Yeah.
But the way they acted showed that they love
love
each other and that they do anything for each other. And if they were to go to war, yeah, baba, so So it's that thing of learning to understand your partner and how they act and what their character is in order for you to appreciate them for who they are.
Yeah,
because you don't want to
definitely.
change your partner. Rather, you should appreciate your partner for who they are.
Yeah.
And obviously enhance on that. Because
that's
nobody's
true.
perfect
That's
at the end of the day. Yeah.
So to wrap up, let's communicate about love languages. Even if you don't know that they are called love languages, just tell your partner how you want to be loved, what you like, and ask them what they like and how they want to be loved. Because in that way, it makes the relationship easier. You cannot spend all your life trying to find out what the person likes. Yes, certain things are easy. You can see, like, okay, they like this, they like that.
Yeah.
They don't like this, they don't like that. But sometimes it's best that you sit down and you communicate about it. And for me, I feel like the quality time one should be very important for everybody. Because that's where the relationship starts.
Yes.
And if whether it's going to crumble depends on that.
Yeah.
So let's express ourselves.
Just say your
and
husband is right. Communication.
Communication. Communicate. And just keep loving each other, guys. Love yourselves, love your partners, and keep working at your relationship. Relationships are not a destination. They are the journey, so enjoy it, work on it, and understand that it will never be perfect. There will be days when days are not looking so beautiful. There will be rainy days, but then there will always be sunny days as well. Work on yourself, work on your relationship, love your person. Love your person the best way you know how. Give them your 100%, and I promise you all these love languages will be catered for, no matter which one is the most important than the other.
Definitely. Spread love and light. Work on love and light rather than darkness and hate.
Yeah, love that.
Let's go.
It's so much easier to love somebody than to hate, ne? Hating feels very heavy. Loving somebody just is
You're free.
so easy,
Mandela.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys did enjoy watching this video. We love you guys so much. We will see you in the next episode. Love and